Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. Hi, I'm so excited. And the reason why I'm excited is because I know that each of us, of course, we do love unconditionally our furry babies, but I also know that we love them to pieces, but as every 2 legs and 4 legs kids, sometimes they have their good moments and they have their bad moments. And what do? Then we go and search for help, search for people who have experience in training their furry babies and just kind of holding our hand and helping us to make sure that we do the best. But also, as sad, and we don't want to talk about it, but our babies as us, they age and then their habits change and then everything change and they have to continue going through training. Well, friends, I'm today beyond awesome excited because my very special and dear friend, Niki French from Pup Talk. She lives in UK, but I feel like she's like my sister from UK. I'm so excited for today for her because she is launching her first book. Woo-hoo! So thank you so much, Niki, for being here with me and the viewers and the listeners and just share with us about your adventure. So book. Why book? I mean, this is incredible. You already help people from all around the world with training and continue training their furry kids with play. And this is really rare what you like the way you teach them, but now book, that's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I always love talking to you, lightens up my day. The book came about because I should basically explain the topic or the title of the book. It's called Stop Walking Your Dog. And most people that hear that title, they go, what? Why would I not walk my dog? And of course, I'm not saying everybody should just be feet up on the sofa, watching TV, not walking their dog. But there's actually an awful lot of our dogs that really struggle when they go outside of the home. And it can be nervous dogs. It can be dogs that are perhaps a little bit reactive to other people or other dogs, or they could be dogs that get so overexcited that they just can't listen when they're out in the parks and or they're out on walks. And even puppies, puppies don't come pre-programmed to know how to go for a walk. It's quite a human invention. It's not something a dog would just do naturally, walk along at the same pace. And it came from working with a whole load of clients, and I realized what they absolutely needed to do was either be walking their dog less, or actually in some cases stop walking their dog. Literally, some dogs were so scared when they went out that they needed to stop walking their dogs because they would constantly be so scared by things that they could never learn. They were constantly in a state of, where's the next thing going to worry me? So that's really where the book came about. And it was the end of May when I literally woke up one morning and I knew what the book was. There'd been a whole series of clients that I was working with, and yeah, so 6 months later, here we are, book written and launched on day one. So
I love it. I love it. And I remember, you came 2 times to our podcast, including our 100th podcast episode celebration. And I remember that before we pressed the button, and I also was a guest to your podcast, which definitely, friends, I would encourage you to check it out as well at some point, Pup Talk. And you mentioned to me about writing a book, and I'm like, oh yeah, because as you know, this is something what I would love at some point to do, and you are my inspiration, as I mentioned to you a lot. But this is incredible, a book. And I know that I have seen it. Like I have seen when my clients come before we do sessions, sometimes we go for a walk, and I have seen, the behavior of their furry kids. And because they are our furry kids, sometimes we maybe don't recognize them. Or maybe we do recognize them. And then, this wonder of trying to go and read information and trying to find the right information, because as we know that a lot of times not every information would appeal to us and to our furry babies. And that's why I admire you, because in this book you are exactly giving great tips, great tricks. And what it's really even more fascinating is that people, they can get the Kindle version of it from Amazon, and especially today, friends, I would encourage you, the link, it's in the description. Also, if you're listening this podcast, I encourage you, friends, go and, check, press the link, check the book, but if you live in a, it doesn't matter where you live, most of the country, you can also buy a hard copy, which I think it's really incredible, because some people, we are old-fashioned ones. We like to open the pages and some people are like, the virtual babies, but really amazing. And so I can see people from Australia and Brazil, in Canada, Germany, France, of course, US, you're in UK, and so many Japan, so many other countries people can buy it. Really amazing. Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's been such a fun process. I love writing anyway, but being able to pull together all of my tips into one place. I mean, there's a specific chapter just of all my quick tips. There's chapters of games. There's chapters for different struggles that people might have. So it could be puppies, or it could be, the nervous dogs, but also it tackles things like what happens if we can't take our dogs out for a walk. Sometimes, we might have an injury or an illness. I broke my own foot and couldn't walk my own dog for a while. In pandemic mode, we were not able to have full walk our dog wherever we wanted for as long as we wanted. So there are lots of reasons why it's good to have a whole host of tools that you can go to keep your dog physically and mentally stimulated without even having to leave your front door. So it works on lots of levels. I think the other thing to say is that often, I think you were so observant about, not always seeing things in our dogs, but also sometimes things have to get to quite a severe level before we think, oh, well, I really do need to do something about that. And I think particularly if you've got smaller dogs, it is easier to cope with a dog that is perhaps, if your dog is barking at other dogs, if your dog is under 10 kilos or what's that, 20 pounds or so. So, I've got a big dog. He's a good 60 plus pounds. If he was barking and lunging and pulling me on the end of the lead, he'd be dragging me down the street. But if you have a small dog, it's kind of easier to cope with. But actually the state that they're in order to want to do that behavior is just as hard for them. So I think I would encourage people, even if it's not causing you as much perhaps physical difficulty as it would with a bigger dog, that still, do address it, because, it's not a happy place for the dog to be in if they're feeling sort of reactive to the environment, if they're not feeling confident enough in the environment. And you can grow the skills at home in order for them to have those calm and happy walks that, we all probably dream of, wandering around outside in the sunshine with our dogs trotting along nicely at our side.
Exactly. No, and I agree. And it's incredible because I have seen you in action. I have seen your games, and I can only imagine, like, this is what I'm seeing: a person in their bed with especially the hot tea next to them, drinking their tea and reading a book, your book, on how they can enjoy having bonding time, but also continue helping their babies with information which is very hard to find, because I emphasize on, like, again, there is so much information, and sometimes you find yourself, if you have a problem, you go and you Google it and you start reading, and then an hour later, 2 hours later, you feel more confused even from the beginning. But versus following a person like you with so much experience, I mean, like, you have like so many credentials, and you have the book, and you have so many students, you have helped so many furry parents from all around the world, and now you can help them in a different shape and form through a beautiful book. It's just incredible. Like, to me,
and there's a really, sorry, go on.
No, tell me.
I was going to say, there's a really cool little surprise that's embedded into the book. So the games, I describe how to play them, and there's photographs of myself with my dog, just to sort of help describe how you play the games. And I give troubleshooting tips and how to play it for different types of dogs. But I think there's nothing quite like seeing a video of someone working with a dog. So I've put all of the games onto video, that are onto a website, and the web address is in the book. So only if you get the book will you find the web address, and then you can see all the games. So you get all those as well. So yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's, you're very smart. This is really great. And I would say, as a furry parent, this is pretty exciting. Woohoo! It's actually,
the important thing is people have to take action, and that's why I did it. Is, you know, it's no good just buying the book. That's not going to change anything. You know, you have to read into it. It's an easy read. People that have read it already have said it's really fun. It's in really nice, easy little bite-sized chunks. So it's not a hard technical read. It should be fun and easy. But then you have to do something. You have to take some action. So that, well, I really wanted to give people a little bit of encouragement, a bit of accountability to do something.
I love it. Oh, no, this is really incredible and fantastic. And I know, like, I never will forget going back to, I don't know, a couple of months ago, you posted a short video in Instagram, because friends, I would encourage you, make sure, again, you follow, you know, a Pup Talk everywhere. It's Instagram and Facebook and website, but today it's a special day. So the book, it's the book. But you did this exercise with just like a carton from eggs. And I thought that that's really neat. I mean, I never would have think of this. It's just those simple things, because I remember even our first podcast episode, and when I'm going back, because sometimes people may not realize, furry parents, okay, we need a little help, you know, maybe especially if you have a little, like, you know, not senior doggies, but let's say if they're 2, 3, 5, 7 years old, and you already went through a training, but there it's a change in their behavior. And so, long story short, one day this year, I realized that my doggy Chihuahua, Chico, he's not behaving the same way. And I was honestly joking with my husband. I said, honey, I think Chico needs to go again through doggy training. He looked at me and he said, he's 15. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And then I spoke to you, and then you said that with aging, furry kids change, and everything, what you play with them and teach them changes as well. I'm like, this is genius. So I was right. And that's why I'm excited about this book, you know. And about how many pages is the book?
It's 200 pages,
okay,
but there's pictures in there, and there's tables that you can use. So I think on Kindle it says it's like a 4-hour read, so okay. It's not too heavy, but it's packed with little tips.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I know. And but see, not only little tips, they're practical, easy to understand for any type of furry parent. It doesn't matter if their lifestyle, because we know that there are furry parents who are super busy, and there are furry parents who have a little time off here and there. And so I think this is a very powerful tool, and I'm excited that people can open and find the goodies and the surprises. This is even better. I'm excited that people can go, and as you can see, again, in so many countries. And friends, so this is, again, we did, and I'm sorry you can see this, but we did, this is the website. And when it doesn't matter where you're watching, where you're listening, this, because this will be also a podcast episode as well. Friends, you just click on the link and it will bring you directly to Niki's website, to Pup Talk website. And then you can check it out. But I also see that here it's a surprise that people can win something. So can you tell us, because we know that everyone, it's kind of always extra excited when there is an opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we thought we'd have a little bit of fun on launch day. So basically, we're sort of halfway through launch day. Where are we now? 5, 6 o'clock in the UK.
Yeah, in the UK, yes.
And so anybody that downloads a Kindle copy, or anyone that buys a paperback, or anybody that shares a post, if they've seen any of my posts on social media, even just sharing it, because I mean, everybody that I know that's a dog person, they know lots of other people that are dog people, and we often know someone that is perhaps struggling, or we want to buy them a book for Christmas or something like that. So it's either buying either format or both, and sharing. Every one of those will be an entry into the prize draw, and the prize, there's nearly 10 prizes up for grabs. There's some amazing supplements. Some of these I give to my own dog. So whether it's
give me a second. Hold on. Let's see them a little bigger here. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's see it, friends.
So there's things like Calm K9, which I really love. I have my own dog on this. It's got probiotics, it's got tryptophan, things like that, which really helps calmness and focus. If your dog has not the best breath, there is a tooth version, which is good for breath, good for keeping the plaque off the teeth. There's Prime, there's all sorts of different supplements. So basically any one of these supplements, depending on who wins the prize, we can talk about which is the best one for their dog. And if you've got a dog that is about 20 pounds, this pouch is like a 3-month supply.
Wow.
So that's amazing. And the other one that I always have, this one in my own personal cupboard, this one is Rescue. So basically if your dog has a poorly tummy, it helps to repopulate the gut bacteria with probiotics and prebiotics and can really help the episode, let's say. So a choice of whatever supplement works for the individual, for their dog, or they could also, if they would rather, they could give a £50 donation to a rescue charity, a dog charity of their choice. There is also DVDs. If depending on who wins the supplements, if somebody came from another country, I would check which some of the supplements you can't ship. I think into Australia, I think they have some restrictions on some supplements. I think in America, I think it's fine. But there's also some DVDs. So the people that I do all my training with, they have some DVDs, and I have some of these available. So there's a lovely one which is Leash Off, Game On, which is just how to make sure that your dog is supercharged and wants to stick with you when you actually come to the park. There's Pup to Perfection. So if you've got a puppy, that's amazing game. Sorry, I've got terrible reflection on the screen then.
Don't worry.
So yeah, and there's fitness, like Triple F is like about fitness and flexibility for your dog. So again, also great for young dogs, aging dogs, to keep that strength, keep that tone, keep that flexibility, keep them strong and naughty but nice. So there's a choice of DVDs, and then also one of my favorite all-time pieces of equipment for a dog, and that's lick mats. I always talk about lick mats, and these are silicone, and you can just put a little bit of anything that is spreadable, and the act of licking is incredibly calming for our dogs. So as something to give them, you know, maybe before you go out for a walk, if your dog gets very overexcited or anxious on a walk, getting them into a calm state before they go on a walk can be really helpful. So there's 5 of those that are up for grabs. So yeah, there's a whole host of little prizes for people to just get involved in over the next, where are we now? Yeah, 10 hours or so remaining.
I love it. This is fantastic. So this is amazing. I never knew about this mat. See, I had to miss this one. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
makes so
really
much
good.
sense. You know, and listen, friends, whoever again watching or listening this, even this itself that exists, that it's an option, opportunity, it's all worth it. You know, it's all worth it. It's really, I think it's just, I'm excited. So again, go check the link, you know, make sure you get your copy, and don't forget to enter for the prize. Again, there's an opportunity for a lot of countries. You can either get the Kindle version of it, or you can get the physical copy, which I think it's still really great. And it's the first book, but again, with a lot of great information. So thank you very, very much, and congratulations to you. Believe me, I'm going to be ordering my copy in a little bit. I'm really excited to add it to my collection here with books from my favorite people around the world. Just thank you and congratulations. And for you, friends, if you're listening this podcast episode, make sure you scroll down and you're going to find all the links to Nikki. Again, it's Pup Talk, just go check it out. Nikki has incredible and amazing, very helpful Facebook group, and also you have your own podcast, but the book, it's the book, and it's really great. And again, can you just tell people where you prefer for where they can find you?
So we'll put a link in the show notes. You can just search for the book by going to Amazon, wherever your local Amazon is. And if you type in "Stop Walking Your Dog," this book should come up, and you should see the black dog with the red writing jump out at you, really obviously. But then we've also got the web address that we can pop into the show notes, which takes you to this link, which gives you the different links into the countries. But you can go to it either way. You should find it.
I love it. I love it. And as soon as we are done, I'm just going to get here by US and get my hard copy, because again, I'm more of a in a good way, not old-fashioned, traditional. Like, I love the smell of the book. You know, it's just
in the book, I actually encourage people to get a highlighter out, get a marker out, and actually write in it for the bits that tell you something that you need to know. I like seeing a book that's really well thumbed and really well used. So yeah, I'm the same. I quite like it in my hands, and all my books have got loads of scribble in them going, I want to do this bit. So yeah, use it.
I love that. I definitely, absolutely, love this. Is a great idea. And you know what? You probably need to consider doing a giveaway in a few weeks, maybe, for people who send you picture with, or a video with more highlights in it.
Yes,
that's a good one. And I just want to say, I'm very grateful to you. A few weeks ago, you left me a comment on one of my videos, and I'm not going to say what it is, but you're probably going to remember for something. And I loved your idea, and I'm going to do it. 2022 is going to be, continue being an incredible year for you with the book, helping so many people from all around the world. But it's going, and what Petpix will kind of a little pivot routes, partially is going to be because of your idea. But again, friends, stay tuned. It's a surprise. You're going to see what it is. But what I'm excited today, that you are my superstar. You are the star of the show. And a lot of people may not realize how long it takes to write a book. It's an art. So we might be knowledgeable in a certain field, pictures, training, hair, you name it, but actually systemize it, writing it down in easy language for pet parents, or it's an art. And not everyone has this art of teaching. Not everyone has kind of really give the most value information. Don't give you the fluff, give you in a very nice and easy way to understand, fun way, give you the what you really need to know. And that's one of your gifts, your superpowers, Nikki, that you're a really great teacher, and you're really, really good in what you do. And I know that it took you many months to write this book. It wasn't just, I sit down 2 hours later. Yeah, it may take you 4 hours to read it, but it took you probably thousands of hours to come up with the content, to write it, the publishers, to to fix it, to take the pictures. So it's so much more. And that's what I hope our listeners and viewers would really appreciate. It's not just a book, it's a manual of really something what for our babies, for their well-being in the future, they need it. And that's the exciting part, that today it's day number 1 of a new beginning and of a new manual tool, which can help each of us, which is really awesome. So thank you, Nikki, for being here with me on the show. Thank you, friends, for listening or watching. Again, go press on the link, check out the book. And I just also want to remind you and encourage you that the holidays are coming. So it doesn't matter, do you celebrate Christmas, do you celebrate Hanukkah or different holiday, also New Year's Eve. But this would be a really great gift for your friends who might need their pet lover, and you want to surprise them. And by the way, the book is very affordable. The book is really great. So, kind of keep this in mind, that might be the best gift, the winner gift for your friends and family members for the holidays and for Christmas, which is exciting. So thank you, Nikki. Thank you, friends, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's been such a pleasure.
We'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends, for watching, listening again. Today it's a new beginning, new opportunity for more fun with your baby. So let's make this magic happen. Let's create this beautiful memory, and let's just say good job and congratulations, and jump on this adventure with my very dear friend Nikki from Pup Talk. So thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.